Hi guys, welcome back again to another section of Uncle Sam online tutorial. In today's class, we are going to be performing some basic operations on complex numbers. Okay, in the last class, we talked about the powers of J and we examined the various techniques we use in solving for higher powers of J, and I'm sure you understood it. If you haven't got a chance to watch the video, there's a link in the description. Just click the description and you'll see the link to watch the video. Okay, so in today's class we're going to be performing some basic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and most likely division. Okay, so it's going to be an interesting video, so just stay with me, and I promise to break it down the best way I can. So let's start with addition of complex numbers. How do you add complex numbers together? I'm going to use an example to explain this, but it's basically the same approach in adding anything. Adding means joining two or more things together. That's basically what addition means. So let's say we have a complex number a, which is equal to 4 plus j5, and we have another complex number b, which is equal to 3 minus j2, and we want to add these two together. Okay, so it's going to be a plus b, right? Correct. So how do we do that? Well, let's position it well. It's going to be 4 plus j5 then plus our what? 3 minus 4 j2. So with that said, the next thing we're going to do here is add the real parts and add the imaginary part. Remember, in complex number, a complex number is made up of real part and an imaginary part. The first part here talks about the real part, why this is the imaginary part. Same thing for this. So adding them together means take this real part, add it to this real part. Take this imaginary part, add it to this imaginary part. So we're going to have that our a plus b is going to be what? 4 plus 3 will give us what? 7. We've gotten the real part. Then j5 plus minus j2. Now, first of all, this sign will attack this one. So we're going to have plus times minus, which is going to give us what? Minus. So at the end of the day, it's going to be j5 minus j2. Okay, because positive times negative will give us what? Negative. So it's going to be j5 minus what? j2, which is going to give us what? Positive what? j3. And that is it. That is how to solve addition of complex numbers. This is the easiest way to solve it. I hope you got that. So what if we want to subtract complex numbers now? So what if we want to do a minus b? Okay, remember that our a is 4 plus j5 and our b is 3 minus j2. So I want to subtract this. It's basically the same approach as the addition. The only thing that is changing is what the subtraction sign here. That's the only thing that changed. So we still do the same thing. So I'm going to do 4, the real part, to subtract the real part for this side. So it's going to be 4 minus 3, which is going to give us what? 1. Okay. Then j5 minus j2. What will happen first is this negative here will go and attack this negative here, and it will turn to what? Positive. All right. Then it's going to be now j5 plus j2. I hope you get this. It's very, very easy to understand. So plus what? j7. So this is what you have for the subtraction part. Okay. Yeah, this is what we have. So going forward, let's go forward now and talk about the multiplication. We're still going to use the same example. Our a is same thing as what? 4 plus what? j5, and our b is equals to what? 3 minus j2. Now let's talk about multiplication. Yeah. Now how do we multiply a and b? It's basically 4 plus j5, then what? Multiplying 3 minus j2. Now, if you are familiar with expansion of algebraic expressions, you will know how to do this. It's basically the same approach. So how do we multiply? Let's go. The easiest way to do this is take this first value here, multiply everything here. Then take this second value here, which is the imaginary part, multiply everything here. So I'm going to separate them. So since we're taking the first value and multiplying everything here, I can as well say that the same thing as 4 multiplying what 3 minus j2. Then also for here, plus j5, positive j5, multiplying the same complex number. So this is how you separate and you multiply. The next thing to do is expand it. 4 times 3 will give us 12 for this part. 4 times negative j2 will give us what? Negative j8. Okay? Then you come over to this side. Plus j5 times 3 is going to give us what? J what? 15. Then positive j5 times negative j2. Now pause here. Remember, the first thing you need to do here is j will multiply what? J. And if j multiply j is going to give us j squared. And I remember that our j in the actual sense is the same thing as what? Square root of negative 1. And if you square root of negative 1, the square will cancel the square root. And you're going to be left with what? Just negative 1. I hope you got what I'm saying here. So with that in mind, first thing, we know that plus will multiply this minus to give us what? Minus, right? Good. Then j times j will give us minus 1, right? So that means this negative that we had here, which we got about from positive times negative here, which gave us negative, we'll multiply the negative that we got after multiplying j times j. And that's going to give us what? Positive 1. Then we'll now go ahead and multiply 5 times 2. It's going to give us what? 10. Okay? If it's going to give us 10, then 10 times positive 1, because negative has multiplied negative here to give us what? Positive 1. 10 times 1 is going to give us what? Plus 10. So what it means is when you multiply two imaginary numbers together, it's going to leave you with just a real number. That's what it's going to give us. So going forward, see what we have here. 12 minus j8 plus j15 plus 10. Now, what I'm going to do next is separate the real part and separate the imaginary part. Then what? Simplify. 12 plus 10 minus j8 plus what? J15. So let's go. 12 plus 10 will give us what? 22. Minus j8 plus j15 will give us what? Positive what? J7. Because 7 plus 8 will give us what? 15 back. So this is what you have after we've what? Must have multiplied this. So multiplying two complex number together, you are still going to get back a real part and an imaginary part. But there are also cases where you will just get either a real part or either just a real part or just an imaginary part, depending on the value you are giving. Okay. So going forward, let's discuss about the last part, which is what? Division of complex numbers. And for this example, I'm going to use a different question. Let's say we have 6 minus j24 divided by 3. How do you think we will go about solving this problem? Well, it's very simple. If you want to divide these, just separate this numerator, separate it, and add the denominator 3 to both of them. Or you can as well just divide here, or you can factorize. Any approach you choose is very, very okay. So for me, I want to factorize. So I want to factorize 3. I want to remove 3 from this side and this side and keep it outside. So if I remove 3, then I'll have to use 3 to divide 6. It's going to give me what? 2 minus what? 3 divided 24 will give me what? 8. So J8. Okay. So once that is done, I'll put my over 3. Then I'll cancel out. So it means that 6 minus J24 divided by 3 is going to give me what? 2 minus J8. I hope you understood what was taught in today's class. If you have any question, please leave it in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more interesting videos. See you next time. Bye.